What are some other ideas that you have for fixing the system?
So the point is that if you set a very high price, you have to pay a high tax. If you set a low price, someone might take the asset from you because you have to stand ready to sell it at that price. And if you set the tax rate around the chance that someone will want to buy the asset from you, that's what's called the turnover rate, the rate at which assets move on to a new user or owner, then those two forces offset each other. On the one hand, you want to set a higher price because you want to be paid more if someone buys it from you. On the other hand, you want to set a lower price so you pay lower tax. So if you set the tax rate around the turnover rate or a little bit less, people will set their prices for assets around what they'd be willing to accept, what they'd be happy to get for the asset, or a little bit higher than that.
How do people who are homeowners, for example, how have they taken to ideas like this?
The ideas tend to appeal much more to people who are relatively capital poor. That happens to be the vast majority of people in the world, but maybe not the vast majority of people who are listening to this show. So the average American, the median American, has about $80,000 worth of net assets. The average American has $1 million of net assets. So there's $1 million of net assets per person in the country, but a typical person has only 80,000. So for someone like that, the system is a huge benefit. They'd receive a $24,000 a year social dividend. To maintain their assets, they'd only have to pay $1,500. If they wanted to overstate the value of the assets by so much that there's no chance anyone would ever take it, maybe they would state $10,000 tax. Then there would be almost no chance anyone would take it. They'd still get $14,000 on net. But for much wealthier people probably like us, who have many more assets, that would be much more costly. So what the tax really does is it's a tax on the sort of hoarding of security by the wealthy in the world, and a redistribution of the ability to afford security to everyone, so everyone has opportunities to access and make use of society's resources.